Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with a repurchase off of the Niod website. I got another one of the fractionated eye contour concentrates. It's a 15 milliliter bottle or half an ounce, and it's in a pipette. I'm not going to open this one because I have one open already, but this is a really nice eye serum. I like to layer underneath heavier eye products. So they were doing a 23% off sale around Black Friday, or actually I think they did it through the whole month of November. So I decided to go ahead and get a backup of this because I think I have under half a bottle of the one that I've been using, and I really like this product as a serum around my eyes, so I got another one of these guys. And then I also placed an order on the Lethal Cosmetics website on Black Friday for a couple items. I went ahead and I got the other blush. I believe it's from the Teresa's Dead collaboration, and it's in the shade Cryostasis. So there's 0.18 ounces of product in this, and these are made in Germany. I believe all the Lethal Cosmetics products that I have are made in Germany. They're a Germany-based brand. So the blush came in a little sleeve like this, and then I just have it in a magnetic palette here. So again, this is Cryostasis, and it's like a satin shimmer formulation. So this is the one that I purchased first, and that's from the same collaboration with Teresa's Dead and Plan 9. So I guess I'll just swatch them together. But this one here, the Cryostasis shade, is very, very pigmented. Like, you'll want to use a really fluffy brush and a super light hand and really buff it into the skin. Even when I put it on, it did still kind of go on heavy, and I had to really buff that into the skin because it kind of looked a bit bruisey because of how pigmented it is, I guess. So I do have to be careful with it. I've actually been enjoying mixing these two shades together as opposed to just using the Cryostasis on its own. So I'll just go ahead and swatch both of them since I've got them both here. But it's pretty purple. It can get a little bruisey quickly if you're not light-handed with it. And then let me just get a little bit of both of them there so you can see kind of the color that they look mixed together. So there's Plan 9 in Cryostasis from Lethal Cosmetics right there. Also from Lethal, I got both of their new, I believe they launched them on Black Friday, their new eyeshadow palettes. So there's Evergreen pressed powder palette, and then also Metamorphosis pressed powder palette. And each of these have got 19.2 grams of product, or 0.68 ounces across 12 shades. So you are getting a pretty decent amount of product. And these are the sleeves that the palettes came in. And I'll start off with the Evergreen pressed powder palette. One thing that I could say I wish that Lethal would do is find a way to label either the back of the palette or inside underneath the shadows, because the only place that retains the shades is on the back of the sleeve. And the shadows are magnetized in the palette and you can pull them out, but these shades are not on the back of the eyeshadows. So just a FYI, you kind of have to keep the sleeve or try to like label them yourself and stuff like that to know the shades that are in there. So this one here has got, I'm not sure what kind of bug exactly. There you can see them. That is maybe a bee that's on the Evergreen one. You can see it right kind of there. And then here are your shades. There's a mirror in here as well. And there are just some absolutely stunning shades in this guy. It's a standalone for me. It's got some light enough highlight shade in there. I will say, I'm not sure what the deal was, but when I was blending out the mattes, like I was going between this green and this green, and there's a decent amount of difference in the depth of those two shades, and I was trying to get them to mesh together, and at one point they didn't want to blend anymore, and then they started to pick up off the eye. So I'm gonna have to probably be a little bit more careful with the blending, because I found that when I was really blending the shades there was a little bit of pickup, which I don't recall having those issues that much with other Lethal shades. And I had a similar situation with the other palette as well, so I was a little bit more careful, and I packed it on and then didn't buff as much as I normally would to get a gradient, just so that it wouldn't kind of pick up off the eye. So just wanted to make note of that. But these shimmer shades are absolutely stunning. There's some almost duochrome, multi-chrome style shades in here, and they're so shiny. And yeah, the color stories on these palettes is just awesome. I was so excited to get these. And then this next row And then the bottom row here. Like, isn't that just a beautiful color story? If you guys hear noise in the background, my cats are tearing it up. So that one is the Lethal Evergreen palette. I could just like stare at this color story. It's just really, really pretty. So that's that guy. And then here is the Metamorphosis palette. And there's a different, a little bit different style bug on this one. Maybe it's butterfly, maybe? I think maybe it's butterfly. This has really got a beautiful color story as well. It's just like a fiery one with some fun greens in there. This one's also a standalone for me. And like the looks that I did out of these palettes were just really, really pretty. I just had that one issue with kind of blending some of the mattes in both of these palettes, which was interesting. I just found that I didn't want to over blend them because of that pickup. So let's give you some swatches of this guy. Oh, get this one here. And then this next row. And then the bottom row here. The shadows are like so soft. Oh, I need to re-swatch that one. I didn't wipe my finger off good enough. You can see there's some red in that one. Let me get a better swatch of this guy for you. There it is. It does have a bit of a reddy base to it though, that shade. But even more there because I had a little bit of red on my finger. But another really beautiful color story. And again, this is, both of them are standalone palettes for me. So that is the Lethal Cosmetics Metamorphosis shadow palette right there. I also placed an order on the Menagerie Cosmetics website on Black Friday because they also launched 2 new eyeshadow palettes. And then inside the package, they included a little pin with one of the artworks from the palette and a sticker with some more artwork from the palette. And there's this cute card. I just cannot get enough of whoever the artist is that does their artwork for their palettes and their products. Is just so cute. I also got the little trinket plate. I thought this would be good to just throw eyelashes on. I have a unicorn one that I use too, but sometimes I find that it's kind of overflowing with eyelashes. So I got this because, again, I love the imagery and it's something that I'll just set in the room and like toss my eyelashes on. So I got that guy as well. I also got one of their blushes, and this is the Rosebud Glow Blush. And this guy here has got, let me see, 4 grams of product, and it says product made in New in Lake, Washington. Vegan product, that's what it says on the packaging. So one of the things that Menagerie does is they keep their outside box packaging more simple, and they put the cuteness on the packaging, which I think all brands should do. Like I always wish that a lot of brands that put the artwork on the outside packaging, I want it on the actual packaging, you know? So anyway, this is the blush in Rosebud. And I've got this on my cheeks today, and it's absolutely stunning. I'm going to go ahead and swatch the Best Buds blush as well, because it's that same kind of shimmer formulation, just so you can see the difference between the two. This one is cooler toned with a pink, just a slight hint of a lavender in there. And these are also magnetized so you can pull them out, as are the eyeshadow palettes. So again, this one here is Rosebud. And I've got this on my cheeks today, and it's beautiful. Such a beautiful shiny pink. I think you can even see that just that little hint of lavender that's in there. It's just stunning. So that guy is the Rosebud, and then the other one with that similar formulation that I have is Best Buds that I got a while back, but I just wanted you guys to see the difference between the two. This one's more tangerine with kind of a pink shift in it. A slight pink shift to it. So that one is Best Buds right there, and there's Rosebuds. And I love both of these blushes. I also got one of their liquid lipsticks that launched with the new eyeshadow palettes, and I got the shade Artemis. Menagerie's liquid lipstick formula is one of my favorites to wear as eyeliner, and this is just a really pretty deep gray shade is what I have on today to wing out my eyeliner. And I found that when I used this with the purple palette, it just took on just the slightest bit of a gray purple. And then with the green one, it just kind of looks like a greenish gray that matches the green. So it kind of a little bit of chameleon. And maybe it's because it mixes a little bit with the shadows that I have on the lid. But I love this shade. So this is Artemis right here. And I just put a little bit on a little tray that I have and use a liner brush. And it works really good for liquid liner. It's very fluid and very pigmented. So it just glides on top of the eyes. And it doesn't like dry like crusty, if you will. It dries like with some nice mobility to it, so it's very comfortable on the eyes as well. So this is the new shade I got in Artemis, and you can see just when it's swatching it how pigmented and opaque it goes with just one swipe. And again, I love this shade. I actually used up their black liquid lipstick for eyeliner, and I love to use that black to mix in with brighter shades to deepen them and stuff like that. But really nice formula. I can't speak for on the lips, but I can speak for on the eyes, and I love to use them on the eyes. So that is the liquid lipstick in Artemis, and that's what the packaging looks like on that guy. I also got one of their new-ish magnetic palettes, so these come empty, but again with the artwork, and I thought this would be a really good one to kind of travel with, to throw all kinds of different shadows in and kind of create your own for like traveling, which is typically what I do when I go somewhere. I like to just curate a magnetic palette to travel with. So again, I love the imagery on it, so I picked up this palette as well from them. And now for the two eyeshadow palettes, I'll start off with the one that's on my eyes today, and this is the Pause eyeshadow palette. So again, see, they have this more plain, you know, box packaging, and then they got the cuteness on the actual packaging. So again, Menagerie is made in the USA. There are 9 shades that are 1.5 grams each in here, which is a very nice amount of product that you're getting, and these are also magnetized. But can we just... My friend Shelby has a dog that looks just like this, and so I feel like calling her name Millie. Is that her name? So like that, it looks just like her. Anyway, I think it's an Australian Shepherd, but how cute, right? And then there's a mirror in here as well. And then here are your 9 shades. So again, this is the palette that I have on my eyes today. And the looks that I've created with both of these palettes, I just absolutely love. And I've worn that liquid lipstick as liner with both of them too. And there's just something about that combination that looks just really, really pretty. So this one here, I did bring in a matte brow bone. So that's what I have underneath the brows, just like a matte shadow, because I didn't want to put the green in there, which is kind of the lightest shade in there. I could have, and I could have probably rocked it, but I just want to tone it down a little bit because it is quite bright. So let's go ahead and give you guys some swatches of this guy. The mattes are pigmented. They blend out like a dream. I have very little fallout. One thing that I did notice about the mattes in here, and maybe their formulation in general, is they're more, they're pressed a little bit better. Some of their shadows in the past have been very dusty, like you put your brush in there and like a bunch of kick up happens. These ones don't do that, but they're still pigmented, they still pick up, and they still blend really well. So I feel like that's an improvement in that shadow formulation. So I did notice that kind of right off the bat. And then these next ones. Yeah, and those like shimmers are just stunning. I have got, speaking of paws, there's a cat hair on that finger right there. And then this last shadow, which is just so vibrant and punchy. It is the shade that I've got on the inner portion of the lid, and then I've got this one on the outer portion of the lid. Just beautiful. Beautiful formulation, beautiful performance, really lovely eye looks that I get out of it. So I'm just so happy that I picked these up. Who am I kidding? I pick up most, if not all, of Menagerie's eyeshadow palette launches because I love the brand. So here is the Pause eyeshadow palette from them. And then the other palette is the Claws eyeshadow palette. Same amount of product in this guy, 1.5 grams per shade. This is the box packaging. And there is the actual packaging. It is just the dandiest. Can't get enough, okay? Mirror in this one as well. And this color story is stunning. This one is totally standalone for me. Beautiful looks that I get out of this guy. Like, I just really... You know when you get something and you just really love it and you like to look at it and you like to swatch it and you like to hold it. That's how I feel about these two eyeshadow palettes. These are so, so beautiful. Them two shades. All of them are beautiful. Who am I kidding? But you guys know how I feel about shades like that. And then these next ones. And then this last shade here. It's like a pink with a bit of a purple, purpley orange duochrome in it, that shade. Just really pretty. Really, really pretty palette. So that one there is the Pause palette from Menagerie right there. I know you guys are staring at that shade. And then curiosity in packaging kind of got me on this next one. I did pick up the Wizard of Oz and Kylie Eye and Face Pressed Powder Palette. So this is Kylie Jenner's brand. And there are 12 shadows that are 0.025 ounces, which is not a super ton of product. And then there are 2 pans, which is like a blush and a highlighter, that are 0.08 ounces of product, which again is still isn't not a lot of product per pan that's in this guy. And then this says made in the USA and assembled in the Dominican Republic. So this is the box packaging. It's very cute packaging. The actual packaging mimics the box, which I appreciate. You got Dorothy down there. And then the names are on the back of the palette. And then you do have a mirror in there with the characters of the Wizard of Oz in there. And then here are your shadows and face products. Now, I've worn this palette too, and I had heard not that great of things from this, but I really enjoyed the look that came out of it. I do feel like this shade right here could have been a little bit more like punchy, but I got along with the shadows really well. They might not be the most shiny or duochrome type shadows that are out there now, but I was able to make them work really nice, and I like the look out of it. And then I also used a Super Shock shadow kind of as a base, which I've been doing frequently with a lot of highlighters. And I used this highlighter over the top, and it was really, really pretty. And the blush was pigmented and blended out nice as well. So I really enjoyed the looks that I got out of this palette. So I am happy that I picked it up because I quite like it. I really liked Kylie's earlier palettes. Like they had different textures and some really wicked foiled shades in there, and just very interesting shadows. And then I think they switched like manufacturers or something. And then I got like her larger, I think it was a birthday palette, like gold or something. And that formula was just not the same. So I haven't been kind of going towards Kylie's more recent palettes, but I thought I'd give this guy a try. And I think it's quite nice. So again, not the most interesting of textures like some of hers in the past. But I was able to, you know, get it to work. So you can see that one's quite flaky. It's got a lot of like shine to it. And I just packed it over directly on my shadow primer that I use. There could have been a little bit more product in this guy per shade, but, and then these next ones. And these last 4 shadows, you can also use those face products as shadows too. And then these last 2, if you don't like the chunkier type of shimmer with some very fine or larger micas in that, you won't probably care for that highlighter. You guys know how much I love a blinding highlight, so I don't mind it. And it's kind of got an interesting yellow tone to it. And I really liked how it looked when I layered it with a Super Shock highlighter. So that one right there is the Kylie Wizard of Oz eye and face palette right there. I just realized I also picked up 2 more of the Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High mascaras in 800 Blackest Black. My favorite mascara. I've been trying some in the interim, and I just continually go back to this one. So you guys have heard me talk about it before. If I could change anything, the wand would be a little bit more stiff, and the formulation is very, very similar, if not the same, to the Lancome Lashy Dull mascara, which I love as well, because again, the formula is the same, but that brush is a little bit more stiff. So anyway, I picked up 2 more of those. And then I also got 3 more of the Too Faced Lady Bold Waterproof Featherproof Longwear Lip Liners in the shade Badass. So this is my most worn lip liner, and they were doing a really good sale on their website. I think I got 40% off of these. And I placed another order for some of their little shadow palettes, but these are the ones that I got thus far. And this is the lip liner that I'm wearing on my lips, and a lot of the times this is the lip liner that I'm wearing in my videos. I kind of feel like it's a bit of a nude chameleon, so I've got it on with MAC's Cream Cup today, and I can pull it in like a lot of different directions, and I can also wear bolder, brighter shades and have it worked really lovely and slightly more toned down when I use it with this lip liner. So I have this in the lighter pink too, and I like that as well, but this is my most used one. And I think I've been through 4 of these because I stocked up last Black Friday too for some of these, and I'm on my last backup. So I got 3 more of them, and there's 0.008 ounces of product in here. And these are made in Korea. So again, it's what I have on my lips, and I'll just swatch it for you guys. It's one of those little click style that does not come back down, and it's because the end is very small and you don't only want to get a little bit of product out at a time, otherwise you'll break it off. So this is badass and I love it. Like I said, it's a very chameleon-like lip liner for me. Brighter shades, pink shades, nude shades. It actually works really well with some of those brighter Lisa Eldridge lipsticks that I purchased too. So just, I love it. So that's the Too Faced Lady Bold lip liner in Badass right there. And that's actually everything that I got in that I purchased so far. We are under like a wicked blizzard right now. So I think this is day 3. I think it's day 3 of no FedEx, no UPS, no USPS. So I have packages coming. They just didn't make it to me yet. So I did get in a couple PR packages, and I'll share those with you guys. This one here is from Carslan, and they've sent me a couple PR items. One, they sent over, there was a loose powder in there that has become one of my favorite brightening style under eye powders. And Carslan is an Asian beauty brand, but I can't read, I think it's Mandarin on the packaging. So let me start with the palette. They sent over the Silky Twinkle Comprehensive Palette. This packaging, it's got like a faux leather feel on the front. Then it shows kind of the shades on the back there. This is 03, so there are a couple iterations of this style of palette. This is the 03 one, and this is just a really soft, like neutral palette. These sparkle shades, they remind me of the topper shades that are on top of the Auric Cream Duos, and also the Tom Ford Cream Duos. That's what those kind of sparkles remind me of. You do have to kind of wiggle your brush in there to pick up that product, but directly over a tacky base, they have this really beautiful sparkle. Quite a few matte shades in there. This is a standalone for me, and that shade right there kind of makes it that way because it's a nice deep matte. And then this is a blush. It's very light, that blush shade. And then these next ones. And I do think that the formulation on these products is very nice, but they run very light. So, and this guy, and then this kind of bigger blush shade. So if you like that barely there, that naked makeup look, you might like something like this here. So that's the Karslawn Silky Twinkle Comprehensive Palette. They sent me another palette like this with the same style. And again, the formulation is really nice, but the shades run very, very light. So I'd have to see if they have any that run a little bit darker, but it would be nice if some do run a little bit darker. But the style of makeup, I believe, is a lighter kind of soft makeup look, like that blurred out type of look. So that could be part of it, you know. So anyway, that is the Karslawn Silky Twinkle Comprehensive palette right there. And then they also sent me 4 of their matte velvet lipsticks. So these are not like liquid lipsticks. They have that that silicone base, and they're the kind that you can use with your finger to blur it out. And it blurs the lips, but it gives us like this just bitten lip look to them. So there are 4 of those. These have got 4 grams each in there. So this first shade is M605. This is what the packaging looks like. It's got this matte feel to it. There's a little heart on there. So that one right there is M605. And then we've got M603 right here. That one's M603. And then we have got M606. These have like a slightly sweetish type of smell to them. Not super strong though, like slightly sweet, slightly lipstick-ish. So that's M606 right there. And then the last one is M608 right here. And then I'll kind of blend them out with my finger so you can see what they look like when you kind of smudge them out. And these are that, again, that silicone-y based kind of more comfortable style formula. So you can see how they have that blur to them. Right there. So those are the 4. They are exactly called the Matte Velvet Lipsticks from Carslan. I hope I didn't butcher their name. And like, an absolute huge thank you to Carslan for sending over that package. And that is everything that I have for my haul today. A lot shorter than the last 2 videos that I put out, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.